staff are discussing changes to policy live on Twitter. Twitch is dying. X staff.
Amazon really bought Twitch for the IVS play, for the technology play, because at the time the encoding technology and the tech that basically built the back of Twitch. Like if we're going to say one good thing,
and the deals they had
MSU,
negotiated with ISPs is a very important detail there.
100%. Yeah, that's the technology and the negotiated deals was why Amazon made this play. Once Amazon spun out IVS, they were like, well, the only real useful vertical for Twitch is as an Amazon Prime like subscription tool, like basically getting us more Amazon Primes. And like once it kind of fell under AWS and it was, they tried to do like Twitch Student, they tried to do like a bunch of like offshoots to try to get more.
Those motherfuckers have no idea. It might as well be me speaking on there.
So what I think the ultimate thing, the real like fork in the road was that point. Like whereas if at the time when they sold to Google, they're like, okay, well we don't want to like lose our independence, we don't want to like become a part of the huge empire, and I think a lot of the hubris in the executive team.
Wait, isn't this guy Jason guy
going to be an actual legitimate VOD competitor? That they were going to like build out this VOD system. They're going to build out the community aspect of Twitch and like have. Like,
I'm thinking of someone else.
Like
there's another Jason guy who's like a tech guy
instead of just going to watch live content. And no one, and this is like not entirely the fault of people at Twitch, because this is like I wouldn't have been able to see this. Like hindsight, I can see it. I can say it now.
I mean, absolutely.
But at the time, it's so hard.
Look at all these motherfuckers listening, bro. Shroud is listening to it.
Still,
Rowdy
had any idea what was about to happen to Twitch over the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, right? And then even more so into the era of the pandemic. Like, there's no one on this planet.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I totally agreed. Like it's easy to say this. Like you're so right. Like it's easy to say this in hindsight. And
I'm on it. They can see me. They can hear me.
You have to realize that like Amazon acquiring companies was doing so guaranteeing independence.
Hey, Sam, what's it like being a cockroach?
They were giving like great
Pretty
options
sick.
that no one like really knew that Amazon has this like ruthless drive to profitability like 2 to 4 years after they acquire companies. And
wait, can they hear me? No.
Google kind of looked like the evil empire, and like no one really knew like where stuff was going. So the decision was really.
I'm cockroaching your mom, dude.
I think like I said, I don't think I could have made a better one. It's just in retrospect, as soon as Twitch sold to Amazon, the real mistakes started happening because someone should have stepped back and say, okay, what is our actual path to profitability here? Because we don't have Google's ad system. Amazon doesn't have an ad system except internally for its like store stuff, and that's not going to apply to us. So the option at that point would be to build some kind of vertical, like some kind of separate product within Twitch that was monetizable outside of, and then use ads and subscriptions and everything else. Because right now Twitch just doesn't have enough revenue verticals to make this a sustainable product. And to Marcus's point, I think it's probably too late to build one.
Where are these motherfuckers coming from, bro?
Stream really quick. Shout out Aiden. Tell him I said hey. Yo. Really cool that you guys are watching us live right now. Hilarious. I wanted to. Sorry.
Yo.
You first.
Oh, I just really quickly. I just got this from a DM, so you're going to be happy to hear that Twitch. This is just leaked to me, but Twitch is announcing Twitch Sings 2 at TwitchCon. So don't you worry, man. There's going to be another vertical.
That's actually such a good point. Can we talk about that real quick? So Twitch is in, like, Marcus can speak to this, right? So Twitch's investment in like these crazy. Twitch made so many crazy, weird investments with the money that they got like in the initial moves that Amazon put in. So let's talk about like Twitch Music, which is like north of $100 million investment to get like festivals on Twitch and stuff, and like all this weird stuff. Then they had the esports teams they propped up for tens of millions of dollars. Thanks, by the way, that got me through CLG. Appreciate that, Twitch.
Twitch sings, curse.
I'm personally here today. I mean, look, there's all justifications for this stuff, right? Like at the time, Twitch esports was 25% of Twitch's total viewership. So of course they're going to prop up the teams, and it ended up, I think, creating the space. But the problem was like Twitch is a business. You can't just like hand out that money. You've got to have some kind of ROI, and they didn't. Like, they're never going to make that money back.
I just wanted to ask, Devin, you had mentioned that you believe it might be too late for Twitch to sort of add any better functionality regarding ads. And I'm just thinking about that. I remember being at a dinner with certain staff, I won't say who, back in, oh my God, 2014. And I was told at the time
Theo
that
says,
ads
yes, I'm
were
really the
okay,
ex-staff
because
that
was
I
everything.
built
And it was one of the
ModView,
first things I ever learned about Twitch from an internal
Damn,
source.
Theo, ex-staff, but
And,
only 1 month
I knew
subscriber?
at
What the
time
fuck
that
is
it was
this,
their number
dude?
one priority to focus on. That
This
was 8
man
years ago.
comes
This is
in,
just prior to
subscribes
the
for 1
internet.
month,
So I just don't understand
fucked up.
why it is that we had that knowledge 8 years ago and they only just added some limited functionality of ad features this year, and it still is, like you said, 100% white glove. There is no automated ad custom placement. There is no drill down of specifics to get a good demographic that you know is going to work for your product. I just don't understand, why is it too late? Why haven't they focused on it the way that they've always been cognizant that they should? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because you seem to know so much about this.
Thank you so much. I have a ton of respect for, like, I've been following you for a long time and everything you post. So back at you, like,
right back at you.
So here's where I think it always lands, right? You have to look at the executive
Do
team.
not drag me in.
What is the executive team that initially started Twitch incredibly
Hey,
good
hey,
at? They're
Theo, thank you for
incredibly
the
good at
10 gifted
technology
subs,
building.
brother.
They
Do not drag me
the
in
best content
to the
delivery
call,
network
please.
that was available at the time for live streaming. And it was so valuable that Amazon was going to buy that technology to release it to as a core AWS product for $1 billion that they use today. So what are they really good at? They're really good at building content delivery networks. They're really good at getting high quality live streams
I bullied him into gifting me
on a 1 to 7 second delay basis across the internet. And that's amazing. It's
I'm going to
awesome.
need it.
But what were they not?
With these new contract splits,
right?
I need it.
What really carried Twitch in the early days, and even now, was the culture. If you listen to anybody that talks about Bleed Purple, Marcus was and is just a huge paragon of this, right? There was a group within
sorry
Twitch.
about that, by the way. Just saying, that was my fault entirely. My bad.
What was?
Bleed Purple. I made it.
Oh, was it? Did you
Yeah.
make that slogan?
Yeah.
Well, you were part of that crowd of people, right? It was like there was a group of partner managers and like people within Twitch that understood that Twitch is a different product. Even today, the way that people watch streams for an average of 105 minutes, right? It's like twice as long as the Super Bowl. Like the way that people consume content, post ridiculous emojis in chat, interact with streamers, it's different. And there was a group of people within Twitch that understood that. But especially after the acquisition of Amazon, that team of people was opposition. Like, what would you say? They were at odds, I would say, with an executive team that was increasingly archaic because they had built a successful technology but didn't know how to transition that into leadership. So nobody was able to ask the question, how do we drive ads to a path of profitability, and how do we actually build a system that does this? What would have been the right play would have been to bring ex-Google execs who worked on the AdWords teams in and be like, how do we build this? And then pitch that up to Amazon and say, we're going to build you an ad network that is actually going to be competitive and you can use on all of your media products like Twitch Video, Prime Video, sorry, somebody came in. So we're going to build an ad product that works on Twitch Video and Prime Video and everything, and we're going to make that work. And that pitch would have changed everything. But that the leadership team at Twitch to this day are just technology people or like completely checked out, you know?
Yeah, I will say that building ad networks without the demographics that you want to build ad targeting for can be really challenging, in the sense that like Twitch as a viewer platform only had one like pretty specific demographic, especially when you compare to something like TikTok and the much wider range of people who use the platform. There is like more justification in the investment in that work, because the main benefit of the work is that ability to target and make CPMs convert better. I just brought up somebody who's like an old friend of mine who's also at Twitch, and I'm sure he has some thoughts on ad stuff. Yo, John, what's good?
Yeah, hey, yeah, no, just wanted to point out something that was kind of interesting. I think it's sort of a self-owned a little bit, because if you look at if you look online right now, you can try and buy ads on Twitch self-serve through Amazon. But
Shut up,
you
Myth.
can only buy them on a
YouTube
very
boy.
select few geos, namely
Fucking
Canada,
caked up.
Italy, and Spain, and
Flexing on the timeline.
And you know, it might be okay.
Someone's
but,
had to grind it out,
generally
motherfucker.
speaking, I think that it's not for lack of capacity that they haven't turned it on for things like the US. It's more just literally a choice to not sell those self.
Yeah, not just caked up in one way either.
Yep. Yeah, it makes no sense.
You
Because
think they'll talk about Will
if you look at,
Smith's mobile
what
home?
does
Yeah,
a
if they
brand
don't, it's
want
kind of
to
fucked
do?
up.
Like a brand wants to go in and it wants to run ads that are going to be effective at selling its product.
Yeah.
So to do that, they need to have the most accurate demographic information possible, which Amazon could get, right? Like they could fold that into their ad network and they could make this a whole play, but they don't see Twitch internally as that. And this is something maybe Marcus.
So after Twitch and tax take their cut of a $5 sub, you are left with $1.25. Lamau, what the fuck? That is precisely how this works. Yes.
Like Twitch's main goal is to get people to subscribe to Amazon Prime, and I truly don't understand the internal.
And also,
offense of
there's
that.
like
I don't know why
other
that happened and why this.
Sometimes it
wasn't taken
depends.
more
Like if you have
seriously
like
than
a
your product.
legal team or something, you
Well,
have
I think there's two
them
aspects to
taking
that
like
that I
5%
can shed
too.
some light on. So first of all, you mentioned it earlier.
I think people don't understand.
that
Like
ultimately
there's also management. Like they don't take any of the sub revenue or whatever. But yes, there's no way this is legal. What do you mean? That's how companies work, man. What the fuck are you talking about? They can do whatever the fuck they want. Why, guys? You are literally in a anti-capitalist stream. What do you mean that's not legal? Companies can literally just be like, "Oh, we are not generating enough revenue. I'm just gonna cut your pay." They can do that. Have you guys never worked at a company? What the fuck? You have no say.
It was so hard. Sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to interrupt. But, I struggled. It was just so far away from like the experience of Twitch, but you know, I tried.
Yeah, I worked on it, and I also couldn't use it. I think just fundamentally, it wasn't in our DNA to build a desktop application like that. And eventually, it was more or less rolled into the website inside an Electron app, and then it was discontinued.
Yes, also when you cut it down to if you subscribe the entire year, okay, not with the Twitch Prime, with a $5 subscription, and you cut it down to the hour, I make around like, what is it, like 0.74 cents? Like it's you're paying 0.74 cents or something.
At least partly because the Twitch video streaming.
I fucking don't even remember. It's like not less than a penny, obviously, but
that AWS users can pay money to.
What was it? No, what the fuck was it?
Streaming platform, and I don't know the financials.
0.2. Oh, 0.02 cents an hour.
But it could be that is the modern version of like, let's build a vertical to fund the rest of Twitch. I don't know, again, if it's successful or not.
Wanted to let Corey come up to speak. If I have been informed correctly, he's pretty familiar with the agency side of things, so definitely would love your thoughts.
Hey, thanks, Theo. Hey, everybody. Corey Niblett. I'm the co-owner of Leviacor. We do a lot of brand sponsorships and direct activations on the platform.
Yeah, but there are 60K people, so you end up making 2K an hour. Please, dude. Bro. This guy's an anarchist. Smartest anarchist, by the way. Chad, don't defend the millionaires. Come on, you're literally making 30K. It is legal. It literally is legal. If it's not in a contract, it's legal. Anarchist, by the way. Defending Amazon in this circumstance, by the way. Smartest anarchist in the chat, boys. Yeah, something can be legal and still fucked up, chatter.
Which is exactly what Devin was.
I love when anarchists are like, yo, this streamer in front of me is more annoying to me than fucking Jeff Bezos' $1 trillion operation that is now deciding to take a larger percentage of the fucking revenue generated.
And they're kind of also competing with brands and with agencies at the same time because they're
like, I really own this fucking millionaire I watch every fucking day by sucking the cock of the baldest and one of the wealthiest billionaires on the fucking planet.
Like those two things are like Twitch has been like, I was on a team that was experimenting with computer vision. They used it for the Overwatch directory where you could pick a hero and it would find that hero, people who are playing that hero in the game. We experimented with many different ways to use clips, and none of them got far enough or made a compelling enough experience for us to ship. Like Twitch internally was trying all of these things and shipped many of them without much of a response and stopped. I would argue that the lack of commitment in one specific thing, rather trying all these different things and then giving up as soon as they started to feel hard, that was more the pattern I'm seeing. And what's needed is a strong direction and focus that is a clear vision of how Twitch can become a sustainable business. Because the
Right.
leadership at Twitch before was not focused on making a sustainable business. It was focused on making a sellable business. And then when it sold, there was not a clear path to sustainability from there.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you in that aspect. I just think, in terms of computer vision and stuff like that, maybe it was hard and maybe they gave up.
Nothing illustrates the difference between being capital owners versus being a relatively well-paid worker better than how Twitch can just cut your pay by fiat. Yeah. Like literally, they could just be like, nah. It's perfect. It is a perfect example. They could just be like, yeah, no, I know you're like, you're caked up. Boop. 30% shave off the top. Like literally, think about that for a second, dude. That's insane. Like they're doing 30% shave, dude. For nothing. Like you don't get anything. You don't get benefits for it. You don't get like extra time off or anything like that. You're 1099. So they just shave it and that's gone. They pocket it. Like, here's the thing though, like I'll be all right. After tax, if you only get 1.25 from a sub, if you divide it by 7 hours, 6 days, and 4 weeks, it's about 0.0074 cents an hour from each individual subscription. After taxes, I'm pocketing from when you subscribe. After taxes, I'm pocketing about 0.0074 cents an hour. The more you correct me, the lower the number will go. What do you mean? What? So no point in subbing? I mean, it doesn't matter. Because ultimately, because there are like 50,000 to 60,000 of you, is still, still a fuckload of money. There's also plenty of revenue opportunities for someone like myself that I just refuse to implement. So, I can do more merch, things that you guys want. I can run more ads. I can, I can fucking completely shift away from Twitch instead of like Twitch subscriptions, or on top of that, implement something else. Like there's always a bunch of shit that I can do. I can do more sponsored content. So I'm not super scared about what's going on. Or I can get a good deal from Twitch as well. That is also another highly unlikely, but still relatively likely thing that can happen. Yeah, I can do crypto rug pulls. No, like that's crazy. I'm not, obviously I didn't mean like that. I can even do like, I don't know, I can fucking restart TTS. You know what I mean? Like there are plenty of ways. Yeah, I'm going to do a slot sponsorship until it's banned. Bro, in 1 month, if I did a slot sponsorship in 1 month, I'd make more than I make in an entire year, for the record. I know a lot of you motherfuckers are dumb as hell about money because, like, the amount of money I make is ungodly and unimaginable to the average person, which is totally valid. But, like, 1 month of sponsored content from fucking stake.com literally is more than double the amount of revenue that I generate across the board. Today, the virtue signaling stops. It's Gamba time. Yeah.
Amazon basically said, why aren't you taking any risks? Like, we take risks and we're, look at where we're at. And I think the thing that's interesting, based off of everything that you just said, is the fact that, like, they took every wrong risk that they possibly could have. And unfortunately, I think that there were a lot of other risks that we could have taken that would have been really, really beneficial to creators, the platform, etc. And not to go into any specific details, but I laugh when I hear you say all that stuff, because I think that was a byproduct of, in some cases, Amazon saying, like, do something, right? Like, this is what you're supposed to do, and it was just not great ideas.
Yeah, to that point, I feel like, any good business leader is going to look at their failures and they're going to figure out how to learn from them. And I guess all of us are just kind of wondering, like, how many more have to exist in a 7 or 8 year period before we start actually seeing some improvement and some things take off.
I don't know that. I wonder if that ship has sailed. Like, I think at this point, the YouTube gaming is such a competitive offer. I mean, so we've been looking at this is a sneak peek for something I'm putting out pretty soon. We've been tracking every day all of Ninja's statistics for his.
Oh, this is exciting. I want to know.
The story behind that is that Ninja. This is I'm not using any like insider information. I'm speculating on this. I'm guessing that Ninja didn't get offered a paid contract because his contract renewed.
True.
I believe about a month ago. And he probably didn't get offered a pay.
That's what I said too.
Regardless, he decided
I would bet that it was a number that he was insulted by is just as likely. Like, knowing his temper, he could have just been Devin, like, "Oh, I would rather go on every platform than accept that deal."
Yeah, Devin, the offers have been extremely horrible, and the words that I'm hearing are that people are getting insulted and they're being driven to other platforms.
Oh, yeah, you and I are in the same business, my friend. I'm getting the exact same conversation on our end. Yep, like insane streaming hours, like the insultingly low offers. Yeah, 100% same page.
But I mean, that's not surprising to you, right? Devin, certainly it's not surprising to you. Corey, I have to feel like it's not surprising to you.
No, it's absolutely not surprising. I mean, let's be real. Like, any business wants to pay as little as they can for as much as they can get. Like, it's absolutely, like, totally fair.
Capitalism.
I think the thing that irritated me the most from the announcement today was the justification of cost. Like, literally, Amazon owns the bandwidth, the data, and literally every single piece of that infrastructure. So to try and like pawn off some type of arbitrary streaming goal as some type of operating expense, to me, was probably like the worst possible justification. It just seems like somehow that made it through like the PR filter of like, do we not realize that we have the largest internet infrastructure in the entire world? Like
we were going to catch that. Like, we were going to catch that. Like, oh yeah, let's use the IVS customer cost that we charge customers. It's like going to a restaurant and being like, yo, this burger costs $15, so we're going to raise it to
$18. We talked about this a bit earlier. The difference between that actual cost and what like customers are paying is not as big as a lot of people seem to think. Like,
it's bigger
the cost
than they say
of running. It's bigger than they say it is, but it's smaller than I would have thought. And it's like, even if you cut the number that you see there by a 1/10, we're still talking about, like, just last year from hours watched alone, like $400 million to deal with the 26 billion hours of minutes watched on Twitch.
Okay,
like, it is very expensive.
Pass that cost onto creators. It's not their
fault. Absolutely.
They
need to fix this by building a sustainable way. Like their Twitch's finances do not scale.
Yeah, if only they had like the hosting service provider be the umbrella company that Twitch is under.
Get larger in their
like, I wonder if there was a way to. I wonder if there was a way to like streamline it or something. I don't know.
Build an ad platform in order to make their infrastructure sustainable, and their failure to do that has them bleeding so hard that they're nickel and diming the way that they are now. But I don't think that's a failure of the infrastructure's cost. I think that's a failure of the recognition that for an infrastructure to be that expensive, you need a profit that scales against it.
Yeah, but Theo, is that cost really realizing the tertiary benefits of driving Prime conversion, and all of the additional things that they're doing? Is it really a loss, right? I mean,
how many Prime conversions do we really think Twitch drove?
How many people here were like, I'm going to sign up for Amazon Prime just so I can give my free subscription to HasanAbi? Okay, maybe a few.
I think
I think maybe a few. But
what the fuck?
Most of those decision makers are like the parents of those people, or people that are in like different economic positions. That's not
chill, bro. For them to get chill.
Yeah, I think the Prime ship sailed in year 1, year 2. I would imagine the fall off's pretty big at this point. Either
there's a lot of people that do that. Actually,
or you haven't. The real question is how many Office,
especially at the fucking top of the hour, bitch. That's right, because at the top of the hour there's a 6-second ad break, and a lot of people are like rushing. They're dying to be like, I want to avoid the ads. How can I do that? You can do that by subscribing for $5 a month or for fucking free with a Twitch Prime. Everybody already has an Amazon Prime account. Some of you probably signed up for Amazon Prime just to get a free Twitch Prime so you can use it on me. Or sometimes, if you're lucky, you can get gifted a sub. Harsh Apocalypse, thank you for the 5 gifted. Don't Be a Tease, thank you for the 5 gifted. Ramen Brains, Keisha, thank you for the 5 gifted. Allowing, like, what, 25 people to no longer see the ads? That's right, baby. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Polygon Primitive, thank you for the 5 gifted.
So that's actually 70% more people on those other platforms that are now consuming his content.
Guyana Grown, thank you for the 5 gifted.
What does it really cost him to drop Twitch?
Tawara!
More and more creators are going to make the decision, like, man, if I'm not getting a good competitive paid offer, I'm going to multi-stream.
Devin, so first of all, huge fan of the idea and concept, right? Like, as creators, this is syndication on a level that technology allows it to happen, and it is amazing that it can happen. However, you know, everything that you said is true for a small percentage of creators, right? Who
Dylan is unbreakable. Thank you for the 20 gifted.
Or who can be flexible enough and already have diversified income coming in to where that can be a successful move. And so I mean, really, I guess it's a question back to you.
They also have to be discoverable. I mean, the reality is you got to break through an algorithm. Ninja can break through the algorithm without, you know, any difficulty. Like, can someone with 2,000 viewers do that?
Hold on. I'm gonna absolutely.
So the question is, like, how
Angry 1997, thank you for the 5 gifted.
People that can actually do what Ninja's doing. Like, maybe this paves a way for a world where many more people can do it, right? A service on top of this that aggregates all that shit, makes it really easy to convert. But you know, if I've got 250 viewers and I make just enough to, like, take care of business, I got a cheap rent, etc., like, is that a risk that they can take?
If you are a broadcaster right now, if you are a creator, but no matter what your size is, full stop, it is better to multi-stream if you don't have a Twitch paid contract. Full stop. If you are not getting paid by Twitch to be there. If you don't have a Twitch
paid contract, because there is clearly then no consequence for doing that.
If you are a streamer with 100 viewers, say, or
this is not a content creator first mentality. This is maximizing revenue mentality, and that's why Devin is wrong. And I think we have to wait to see what's going to happen to Ninja, because when you dilute your content, when you're all over the place, especially on platforms that are not designated for live streaming content, your content is not going to be as good. You're not going to be able to monitor every single chat. You're no longer offering 100% of your juice on every fucking platform. I've thought about this long and hard. Even if I were to multi-stream, even if I were to not take a Twitch deal, and I were to, like, multi-stream, not go to a different fucking platform or whatever, I would probably only do it with, like, 2 platforms, because it would be incredibly difficult to manage all of the chats in all of the fucking platforms.
Working against you.
So let's look at this like here, right? So there's a ton of arguments that are made, and they're all subjective.
You're not diluting your viewers.
It's going to dilute your community out.
But you're diluting your content.
There's no evidence of this happening. So, like, the real answer here is that, like, Twitch discovery is literally nada for anyone that isn't a king of the website already. So if you are a small broadcaster, your concern is not revenue. That's a big misunderstanding. Like Twitch focused on this for years. Their main focus was, we want to bring in more revenue per unit for broadcasters. That's an admirable goal, but the problem that's
I'm not talking. He just they might be listening to me on the side or something.
Any of the main categories right now, League of Legends or Fortnite or just chatting, scroll down and no one's going to find you. So
I get discovery, this, Devin, but I'm talking about, there is absolutely a class of streamers that to give up their Twitch revenue to be able to accomplish this would be absolutely devastating to them.
That is the risk.
It's kind of like that whole concept of,
that, or you sit on Twitch and die, because you will never get discovered and no one will ever come and watch you beyond the people that are actually in your existing community. How many streamers right now on this phone call are sitting here with dying viewership, gaining no followers because they have no methodology of discovery? That is what
I literally polled my audience on Twitch like last week, and over 70% of my my Twitch audience came from YouTube. Not even like they didn't even know I was live on Twitch. They knew I was live on Twitch because they saw my announcement about it on YouTube. And I am a Twitch streamer much more than I am a YouTuber. Like this is entirely true. Twitch is when you fully commit to Twitch, you are setting a ceiling on where you're at. If you're comfortable with that ceiling and you're comfortable living at like 70% of where you are, sure. But if you want to keep growing, that does not happen on Twitch right now.
Just so I'm clear, what you are both saying is that you think that risking like the only source of financial stability is worth it to go multi-stream, because
I don't think it's stable enough to be considered stable. I would argue that the risk you're taking by going multi-platform is less than the risk you're taking on the unstable foundation that is subscriptions on Twitch.
Yep, exactly right.
I would just also add, like there's so many other monetization opportunities on these platforms and with third-party tools at this point. Like, are you really risking the economic stability? Like, you can have a Discord bot at this point manage subscriptions for you. You can do Instagram subscriptions.
You can go to Patreon and get 90%, 92% of the total split of revenue instead of 50%. Right? Like, the diversification is just here is the actual truth. This is what's going on. Okay. Creators are afraid to make this move. They're afraid to make this move because they've existed on Twitch in a certain way. This is a classic case of old blood doing something a certain way, not realizing that technology has moved on, that syndication is here now, diversification is here now, and the opportunities for discovery
I don't agree
on
with
TikTok
this.
Live are way superior to any on Twitch.
Because Patreon is like an entirely separate platform. There's no additional like
they are not making
there's no way to merge the Patreon subscriptions onto this platform. You're literally cutting it into like 1/10,
or they'll go down with the ship that's sinking.
Yeah, and they're used to a platform where the extra effort doesn't.
You're splitting your community. They're not getting anything. It just doesn't. It's just wrong. It's completely wrong.
Almost every other platform, what you put in is what you get out in a much more immediate way.
I think you are. I'm going to be totally blunt with you, Devin. I think like you are speaking from a place of privilege.
No, I'm speaking from a place of data, DJ Wheat. You don't know this data. I have it all in my YouTube videos. I have hundreds of creators who have multi-streamed successfully.
Data is great, but it's not a guarantee for someone who's kind of barely scraping.
There are no guarantees in the business world.
Chill, guys. Chill.
Time in order to do it, right? Like all I'm suggesting is, dude, I love multi-streaming. Let me make it really fucking clear. I wish everyone could do it. I wish that there was a guaranteed way that you could aggregate all of your finances and it becomes really easy to manage and you don't have to add extra things to your work. Like, I'm all for it. It's great. But I think like the underlying point is to truly achieve multi-streaming with the data that you have that supports it, you have to give up, right, that Twitch piece. And so it's just like I think a big ask for a lot of people that, maybe aren't as financially stable as those who can consider themselves top 20 streamers. And, I'm getting a fuckload of messages right now that are like, yes, Wheat, exactly. Thank you. This is it. Right. I mean, so all I'm saying, Devin, I love it. Multi-streaming. Yes, absolutely. But I do realistically think there is a class of creator out there that is 100% not in a situation where they can feel comfortable doing that. And so,
so the difference between the people who can't feel comfortable and it's too big a risk, guys. Super quick, because can I really quickly try to bridge the gap, Devin? Because I agreed with Wheat until about a year ago, and I want to try and translate from like someone who shifted their perspective.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry.
Someone asked, do I think Twitch will survive 5 years down the line with this kind of attitude? No.
I had access.
Absolutely not. I have zero faith in the platform surviving for 5 years unless they figure out how to fucking generate revenue in a way that does not impact the bottom line of their content creators. I don't have any. I'll say it very clearly. Especially considering how much they're like looking for short-term profit-seeking ways and like really pumping ads. No shot. On YouTube, you have skippable ads. It's a VOD. It's an entirely different ad viewership experience. Okay? On Twitch, the ad experience completely shuts the content down. You're missing out on fucking content. Like, even though YouTube is pumping out the ads and their model is significantly better in comparison, CPM sharing model is better than fucking Twitch, and their bottom line might be cheaper because they're not doing live video hosting nonstop.
Not in a sustainable place right now if you are that scared of losing your Twitch revenue. You're already at a huge risk. You have to take the steps necessary to be at less of a risk. And the growth I have seen from creators that have been stagnant on Twitch for years, the second they start co-streaming on YouTube and TikTok is insane. And that is the thing that so many people aren't getting, that they absolutely like. And my biggest concern is, I agree, there's a lot of people that aren't in a position where they can take this risk, but there are way more that think they are, that really need to be doing it. And for every one person that thinks they shouldn't be doing this, there's 9 who should.
There's also way more that don't have the support system to stretch themselves any more than they would need to in order to, right, be multi-streaming. And I know we're going to get technology like this will evolve over time, as all things do. Someone's going to build the amazing thing that just makes it together. Boom, you do this. Every creator is going to be like, holy shit. At the end of the day, though, there is still a wall that exists, and that is Twitch and kind of flexible but not really approach in terms of exclusivity. And so, look, all I'm going to say on this behalf, because we clearly, I think, agree across the board. I'm just trying to represent a voice of streamer that I heard from a lot over the 10 years that I was at Twitch, and I really do empathize and understand the situation. So, hopefully I've represented them. But what I ultimately, I think that if Twitch really, 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 really wanted to do what was best for creators, I do think that they drop that and give creators the chance to flourish regardless, right?
That would solve the problem that you're talking about.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I'm sure there's fears of like revenue loss and user loss and whatever, but look at these sites. Your data, I know, supports this, Devin, right? Each of these sites have their own communities. They have some crossover, but is not as huge as you might think. And there is representation of audience in all of those places. Great. But in order for all of this class of people of creators to benefit from live streaming, I think that is the thing that has to happen, right? And I don't think you'd see an exodus because people like to use Twitch. I think might actually see even more people give Twitch a shot, while simultaneously other people say, okay, I'm finally going to give YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or whatever.
Okay, okay. Why do you think that Twitch is hanging on tooth and nail to this exclusivity? It's almost as if they didn't have it. It would be a massive vulnerability to their business model, because people
Devin,
would realize that
you,
this syndication makes sense.
I can tell you exactly why, right? In a balanced marketplace, the best product succeeds. Do you really think
100%
perspective
right.
at this point, Twitch is the best product? If all things were equal, right? Do they have the best bit rate? Do they have the best technology? Is it the best service possible for a content creator? Probably not.
I'll die on the hill and say yes, not for the creator, but for the viewer. It is still the best experience I have watching and consuming live content. And
I agree.
I wish they would bet on that.
Not even a question. Yes, absolutely.
If that changes, they don't want to happen. So real quick on this issue,
straight up,
it is multi-streaming syndication, things like that. Okay, we have an
bit rate doesn't matter.
That there are thousands of people listening, and thank you for everybody that is giving us this platform. I want to speak directly to the creators. There are hundreds of you, maybe thousands, that I have talked to over the years that are in this position as follows. Okay. You've been streaming on Twitch for 2, 4, 5 years. You had an initial growth period. You got up to 500 concurrent viewers or 1,000. I'm not speaking to the top creators. That's a different situation. To Marcus's point, which is 100% right. We cannot make decisions based on the top 20 to 50 creators. They're on a totally different ecosystem. Maybe they should stay on Twitch. Maybe they shouldn't. Who cares? Let's talk to the actual creators who are the core and the mid-sized to small-sized creators that are trying to make it on Twitch right now. They are sitting at 200 concurrent viewers, 500 concurrent viewers, 1,000. They look at their active follow accounts on Social Blade and they see -10, -8, -5. They are not growing. Do not listen to anyone that tells you to do the safe thing and sit on Twitch through that process. What you need to do is take a fucking risk. It is that is what business is about. Business is about taking risks and doing things that are scary so that you can increase your total profit, your total footprint. What you need to do is go diversify onto YouTube, start figuring out how to make different kinds of content, start using other platforms, start converting users over to more effective systems. You cannot sit on Twitch and die. That is what will happen. Those follower counts won't get better. Twitch won't solve the problem for you. In the business world, you have to be responsible for your own success. Nobody is going to look out for you. Do not do the safe thing and sit there. You will fail.
Yeah. Risks are good. I took some risks in my life. I'm really happy I took them. Like they're great. But
you're taking a risk by staying is the part that I think that we're not
that's
focused on enough. Like by
I
staying,
feel like you're talking from this perspective as if like
chatting so much better on Twitch, watching stream Twitch live so much better. However, the VODs and the viewers so putrid. Which has the chatting experience left and nothing else.
They absolutely do. They're using Patreon.
No, they sit on Twitch for dude. I like back at you when you're saying like because you know how much respect we have for each other, but bro, you didn't build a Twitch stream from the ground up like I did, and like a lot of these creators did. You were a director at Twitch, you had a job, you had a salary.
Oh my god, they're fucking daggering each other.
Right
Yeah,
now,
100%.
He said you're not a real content creator like I am.
Is
ego.
As a person who looked up to Wheat before he had a job at Twitch, I think that was a bit unfair.
He knows the content game, but he hasn't.
Ego, drama, fight,
I know,
fight,
and
fight,
guys,
fight,
both
fight.
of you chill. Can I try and bridge the gap here again? Can I chill? Both. Can I try?
This is what
like I
gatekeep, girl boss, slay queen.
Muting everybody. Sorry, as someone who respects this.
It's a nerd fight, boys. Let's go.
There's a bridge being missed here that I really want to cover. There is an actual risk being taken that Weed is very reasonably concerned about. But as we know, the game has changed. You're not streaming for 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. You're streaming for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know, like, one of my employees at my company is on the grind because he got raided recently by somebody in the GTA scene and he wants partner so badly. And like what it takes to do that is absurd. That's just how it is every day on Twitch now. The best advice I ever heard Devin give that has been like foundational to how I run my company now was the advice that if you're streaming for however long, however many days a week, end an hour early and spend that time doing literally anything else on any other platform. Go edit a video, go make a TikTok, go make a nice thumbnail and post it somewhere. Do literally anything else because that's where you're going to find growth. Twitch is not a place where you find growth. It's a place where like the time you spend in Twitch isn't spent growing your audience. It's spent getting everything you can out of your current one as it slowly dies off. It is a huge risk to let that continue to slowly taper when you could do other things and build a bigger safety net.
Yes and no. Yes and no. You can continue growing, but it's like really
Twitch to Patreon if you
just need to
start.
You just need to collaborate a lot
and mailing lists and other things to be in touch with them. Prepare for the worst, and then when you're prepared, all of a sudden, you can take the types of risks Devin is talking about. I agree, a lot of people can't take these risks right now, but they should be trying their goddamn hardest to put themselves in a position where they can, because these risks are necessary.
Motherfuckers in the chat talking about like, oh, well, you're the 1%. This isn't just possible for someone like me who barely makes it. That's why what Austin Show was doing early on was really good. Scuff Podcast was really good. GTA No Pixel is like kind of decent, but it's not very sustainable. Like, that's why Twitch desperately tries to make content that brings other people's communities together because it's actually really, really good for everyone involved. Community sharing that way. Okay? Ultimately, you need to collaborate like a motherfucker. People forget that, like, I had 35. I was a big name outside of Twitch, certainly, when I came in. But I literally started off, I had 17 people watching me. That 17 is gigantic. It's enormous. Going from 0 to 17 is enormously difficult, okay? But the reality is, the reality is that, like, it's not like I came in and I had 1,000 viewers. I collaborated a lot. Like, non-fucking stop. I went on shows. Non-fucking stop. Now, luck is still a huge, huge, huge part of that. But remember, like, every big community that blew the fuck up on this platform, Minecraft, W community, all these communities that have blown the fuck up on this platform all blew up because they collaborated. That's the key to success on Twitch that a lot of people don't realize. Networking, some people say it. They say it in a negative way. Stop, bro. You had YT. Bro, I had literally fucking 17 viewers. What are you talking about? Go look at my fucking, go look at my numbers. Now, it's still, I'm not saying this is an end-all, be-all, 100%, guaranteed success thing. Okay, Drew Gooden was anonymous on Twitch for a week and only gained 1 follower. I know, because Drew Gooden, as an anonymous person, was not collaborating with people. Hasan's YouTube was so bad early on, lol, sorry. Yeah, I had to fix up YouTube later. Like, it came after. Don't sleep on TikTok as promo as well. I follow a bunch of people I found on TikTok. Yeah, you need to work on other platforms, certainly outside of Twitch, to grow your platform on Twitch. A big part of that is the HasanAbi Clips Industrial Complex. A big part of that is like all of my other, the way I get mentioned on other platforms and stuff. That certainly brings in a lot of new eyeballs and shit. But having said that, your rage literally started off as a plug channel for Flight Reacts and Illuminati. So that's what I mean. That's why some of the biggest content creators on this platform were like born out of other people's communities. Okay? Some of the biggest fucking content creators. Everyone was on this platform. I'm one of the few people on this platform that's at the top that did not come from Twitch. Daff was a fucking Twitch watcher, like an avid Twitch watcher. XQC was an avid fucking Twitch watcher. Like, these guys were on the platform. They were in chats. They were trying to make their fucking way. Tim the Tap Man was a soda mod. Wait, is that real? Moon was from Tim the Tap Man? Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that sort of stuff. It takes way longer than people think. It does not happen overnight. Not only does it not happen overnight, and it might not ever happen. You know what I mean? It's super, 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 super luck related. And there are plenty of examples of famous people that don't do that sort of stuff because they're not fucking grinding Twitch, okay? There are plenty of examples of streamers that don't fucking do that are famous on the real world, that don't do the collaborations and stuff and don't grind Twitch because Twitch is fun for them. You know what I mean? They're just doing it for fun and they don't give a fuck. So those people don't pop off on Twitch. If the outside influence, your outside influence and your outside network was relevant to you having a consistent large audience on Twitch, every time famous people are on this platform, they get fucking millions of people tuning in. It doesn't work that way. Even when you're already established, you still need to like literally collaborate, grow your audience, develop a sustainable community. You know what I mean? You had Young Turks, you had an audience, dog. I did. I know. It was gigantic. From 0 to 17 is a huge fucking jump. But when I started off, I had 17 people watching me. And there are plenty of people that are infinitely more popular than me in the real world. Like famous examples, famous people like Kenny Beats, T-Pain, Soulja Boy. There are so many people that are severely more famous than me that consistently or inconsistently make content on this platform. And they don't have the same like sustainable audience that I do. Do you understand? Because it's literally it basically is a merger of like different kinds of things. There's so many different factors involved in it. Deadmau5 only has 400 viewers right now. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Who do you think is more famous, me or Deadmau5? Like in the real world.
Something interesting, or let's just take it from live streaming. Going and watching your own tape. Go talk to any smaller creator and say, do you?
Dude, why is Devin talking out of a toaster right now?
If you hate watching yourself, how are you gonna actually have anybody else want to watch you, right? Like the techniques that you need to do that we're talking about on this call.
People say like TYT helped you. Of course it did. I had an established audience. I was a notable figure, right? More importantly than that, though, people on Twitch thought I was a notable figure of notoriety, even though I really wasn't when I first started. That's the reason why people were more open to having me collaborate with them. That was the fucking key to my success. I'm giving you like the actual fucking keys to success here. People keep saying TYT, I saw Hasan bring up his Twitch on YouTube, but it didn't end up sticking around. I was after early discussions with a certain streamer who fed lines that that led me to staying here. Yeah. There are more, I'm willing to bet, even though we meme about it a lot, there are probably more viewers in here that didn't even know I was a part of the Young Turks. I consistently, for the past fucking multiple years, have had 10x almost 20x the number of TYT's live concurrent viewership. So whenever people say TYT, you're just fucking showcasing that you're an old head. You just know the old lore. Plenty of people have no fucking clue, dog. If that was the case, I wouldn't be fucking 10 times larger than TYT right now for the past 2 fucking years. Y'all are crazy. Sick and tired of this fucking narrative, dude. It's so fucking weird because it's like, yeah, of course, the profound amount of luck and privilege that I got and help that I got from being a TYT person was impactful. Because like I said, 0 to 17, largest fucking jump. I started off with 17 people watching me. But the reality is, the main reason why I blew up on fucking Twitch is because I was able to collaborate with so many different communities, was able to fucking be a part of so many different communities early on. Scuff Podcast, Austin Show, and of course, Destiny as well. That is the reality, for sure. Very active communities that I was that I was routinely collaborating with. These are the main reasons. So it's kind of weird to say TYT all the time. You're like kind of undermining the influence of all these other fucking people that I networked with, I collaborated with, became friends with.
Hilarious stream. Like the guy literally makes like animations with cardboard, and like the whole theme is like cardboard.
Oh, I love that
Castlehead,
cardboard
where he's an
guy,
entire,
cardboard
fake
cowboy guy.
persona. Like I can't tell you how many weird and interesting things that people are passionate about that, we.
So you don't think TYT helped you get those original collabs? No, dude, that's what I'm saying. That was the main thing. You were just repeating, once again, exactly what I said back to me, but in a snarky way. You didn't understand it. I said TYT didn't actually help me get viewership. It helped me because it made me seem like I was a more legitimate outsider coming into Twitch, like that was actually a famous person outside than I actually was. That's what it was. Because people like Austin saw me as like a political commentator from TYT and were like, oh yeah, I'll have this guy on. Even though I was a fucking 17 viewer Andy. That's the point. That was the biggest boost for me. 39 Dav would have never played Man of Medan with you if she wasn't a TYT fan. No, I met 39 Dav while I was already big on Twitch, like relatively big. I've been following you for 15 months. I had no idea you were part of TYT until you brought it up. Yeah. No, me being on TYT gave me credibility in the Twitch world because Twitch world was like desperate for outside like legitimacy.
Social media pieces about it, or you can make a YouTube recap. There's so much more tech and innovation that Twitch is uniquely positioned to do. And it just really feels like they've given up on the technological innovation of their platform. And at this point, they're more interested in the business evolution of their platform.
I just want to kind of add, Theo, you said that you had a DM from someone who was like a 30 viewer streamer and that you wanted to address all those things. It actually is kind of funny that my job that I was hired for at Twitch back in 2015 was for a role they created. And there was certain people, some of who are, I don't know if they're still in this chat, but who advocated very heavily for the creation of this role. And it was the community manager of education. This was something that didn't exist prior to that point in time. This is post Amazon buyout. And this was still when there were so many higher ups at Twitch that cared deeply about supporting the community in ways that were, low cost to build, but then also really high payback. And this is exactly that kind of thing. Yes, okay, you're not gonna, as a smaller viewer streamer, you're not going to need to expect that Twitch is just going to make your channel successful overnight. It's not going to happen that way. That's not realistic. But what is realistic is potentially for Twitch to support the community in ways that is educational. So providing a platform where there are articles that can help you understand how to market yourself, how to build a brand, how to do a lot of those things that we're only starting to see some people create now. Well, not now, but in the last few years, ever since that idea basically died. The reality is that as much as it was a lovely idea, I was working for Twitch for 2 years. And in that time, I created wireframes for that platform. I wrote up tech documents and business plans and everything, and we just never got approved, which was so stupid. The role was literally created to make this site, and it was supposed to be the help.twitch.tv site, but like better and much more expanded and much more supportive to getting people more information to build a successful career rather than just here's how you press go live. And it just never happened, to the point where, you know, eventually it was part of the reason why I did eventually quit. So it's funny that we did initially see those kinds of really innovative, easy, low cost ways of supporting the community, and those have all but died. And now we're seeing creators make content and careers out of that kind of content, like out of those educational bits of information that can help other creators be lifted up and build a career for themselves. So it's just really ironic. And I hope that, you know, if that 30 viewer streamer is still listening, maybe go check out some of those other creators that do create content for free and also paid, yes, but there is a lot. And actually, Devin has loads of it on his YouTube channel. Sorry for the plug.
What happened now? New
Oh,
drama
thank
while
you.
I was peeing?
I think
They're good React videos, everyone. You should totally watch them.
Not sure if you want to know, but she's saying you're lying about your ad contracts right now? That's what he's saying? Wait, about what? I'm going to fucking leak it. Saying you don't have to run ads? No, that is my contract. What does he mean? Oh, he's saying I could have just not signed a contract. Yeah, that is true.
Through, so, you know.
He could have not signed a contract as well.
I want to go to the club.
Yeah, of course.
I want to take the risk.
I'm gonna drop out of here, but you know, Theo, again, huge shout out.
He started by saying, Hasan, don't get mad at me. He said you agreed to a contract to run as many as you do. Yeah, that's what I said. Wait, why is it always quite literally my take, but then people spin it in a way where it's like, dog, you're so fucked for this. Yeah, no, that's my take. That's how contracts work. I knew that Twitch was always going to run inventory. When I first got the contract, I told you guys very openly, I know that Twitch is always going to run inventory. I know Twitch is always going to want us to run ads, and they're going to want us to run a lot of fucking ads. I wanted to control how much ads I was going to run. Both myself and Asmongold even, I think, said something similar. What the fuck? He didn't say don't get mad. He said I don't care if he gets mad. XQC better react and not react and remain neutral. XQC basically did exactly what he did with the train tweet. He yelled about you yesterday and was confused why people were mad at him. No, there was no contract where I had 0 minutes of ads. That was not a thing. There was not even a contract where I had 1 minute of ads. I had to fucking take gigantic loads to the fucking face to be able to run that. Which is why someone should just ask SQC why he runs 7 minutes of ads. Like, that's insane to me. The guy with the highest sub count runs literally the most ads, and he's like turning around and fucking trying to shit on me for running 60 seconds of ads at the top of every hour. And the reason why I did it is because I wanted to make sure that I control. Well, one, I wanted to have my own sub split and everything else, obviously. And two, I did it because I knew that Twitch was going to force ads regardless, no matter what we do, which they did. My biggest problem was that I didn't know. I got fucked over. I did not know that pre-rolls would get served regardless of whether or not you only ran 1 minute of ads. Because it turns out, and I found out after I had signed the contract, that pre-rolls get served regardless unless you do it for 3 minutes an hour. For the record. Something I've talked about many, 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 many times. People don't think it's just like 60 seconds. 7 minutes. Because 60 is a larger number. I run 1 minute of ads. XG runs like 7, I think. An hour. I tried to ask him, but got hit with the 1 ad of 60, 30 seconds. So I don't know what he said. Yeah. I think pre-rolls are literally killing the website, by the way. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. He could have said you could have chosen not to sign a contract like Asmon and not run ads. No, first of all, it's not that Asmongold didn't. I thought Asmongold was not offered a contract. And also, Asmongold has grandfather privilege, most likely. Like, a lot of those streamers have like super, super different contracts from being on the platform for a very long time. I have no other information on it, but I don't know. Like, everyone has a different way. He's not that old. No, I don't mean like he's old. Like, a lot of older streamers have grandfathered contracts, so they can like multi-stream and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there are streamers who are able to always multi-stream. Most of those unique contracts are gone now. Yeah, probably. Bro, let me ask you guys something. Okay, think about this for a second. I've been like number 3 to number 4 to number 5 on subscription for the past 2 years. Okay, I've had at times I was number 1, and throughout the past 2 years or 3 years almost, I've been 2 years, not 3. I've had the highest number of subscribers. Throughout that time, I've also been in the top 5, the top 10 most watch time on the platform. So why was I number 13 on most generated revenue when the Twitch leaks happened? Because that mathematically doesn't make sense. There were a lot of older streamers who don't stream as much as I do, or don't have as high a watch time as I do, that don't have as many subscribers as I do, that were up there. You want to know why? Because their Twitch payout was higher, because they had better contracts. Have you guys never thought about this? That's how this works. If you have a better contract, if you have a better contract with Twitch, you're gonna. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Isn't the reason D&D is number 1 because of an insane grandfather contract? Maybe, I don't know. There's multiple reasons, like they might be running more ads and stuff, but ultimately you can't outmath the watch time. You can't outmath the metrics. I feel like people like Summit deserve better contracts because they literally help build a platform. Absolutely. I don't have an issue with people that have great contracts, for the record. I don't have an issue with that at all. I have zero issue with that. I think it's great. Any streamer that is able to fucking get as much money as they can out of platforms is fucking awesome. Good for them. They deserve it. So that's it. That's my take. Why would I fucking take away from that?